I used to think that the secret to becoming a successful photographer was finding a mentor, someone to take me under their wing and teach me everything that they know from the last 15 years of running a commercial photography studio. I thought that was the direct path to becoming successful. But I quickly found that I couldn't find someone like that. Either they were way too expensive, they weren't interested in helping me at all, or they just didn't have the skills that I need to be successful today in 2025. Instead, what really did fast track my business and my photography career as a whole was finding friends that were going through the same things that I was going through. People who were at the same stage, working through the same hurdles and overcoming the same challenges that I was currently facing. We could each bounce ideas off each other and grow together rather than looking for guidance from someone who started 15 years ago and doesn't understand what it's like to be a photographer today. Because most of the things that we're seeking in a mentor, we could actually just find in a close group of friends. I was listening to an episode of the 505 podcast the other day, shout out the boys one time, with Sam Newton, the episode that they did with him recently. Sam, one of the most creative people that's done so much in the industry on YouTube, in filmmaking, but also music videos as well. So creative the way he thinks outside the box with that stuff. And he was just saying that a lot of his inspiration, a lot of his growth has come from finding friends in the industry, not finding mentors. And that just really struck a chord with me because it's really similar to my own story. Like, finding mentors for me has always fallen flat and no one has been able to tell me or guide me on what I should do. But finding friends and someone to have accountability with, someone who is also going through the things that I'm going through, that I can talk through the struggles with, has always helped me the most, so much more than any mentor could possibly give me. It's so funny that one of the biggest things we look for in a mentor is accountability. People will pay thousands of dollars for a personal trainer just to come and stand next to them and tell them that they're doing a good job, and to keep them accountable and to keep them showing up every single day. And we pay thousands of dollars for mentors just to tell us that same thing when we really know deep within ourselves what we need to do. If you're going to a mentor to ask for specific advice on what to do, maybe you need to try a few things first. And most of the time you can find exactly what you're going to get from a mentor in a close group of friends, other people that are going to keep you accountable and locked into what you actually want to do. We don't always need to pay thousands of dollars for someone else to come and tell us what to do. We can actually just find that from within ourselves. I know that with every single one of my friends who's a creator of any type, I'll always be reaching out to them, asking where they're up to on their projects, keeping them accountable. I had a friend last week tell me that she's going to start a podcast and I'll be keeping her accountable every week until she does. I had another friend that told me he was going to run a workshop about how to do photography, more creative portrait style photography. I'm going to be keeping up to date with him every week until he starts it. Another friend of mine wants to run an astrophotography class and wants to get an online course going. You bet it, I'm going to be keeping up to date with him until he gets it off the ground. And I think having those friends is so much more important than having an online coach that you're paying thousands of dollars to. I don't know about you guys, but every mentor that I ever had, every coaching program that I was a part of, always felt like they talked over my head. They were talking to issues that the coach or the mentor had at that particular time and the things that they thought were relevant for me. They weren't speaking to the actual issues that I was having right now. And so instead, what I always wanted was someone who I could just call or someone I could send a text to whenever something went wrong, whenever I uploaded an Instagram post and people were really hating on it in the comments, or when I sent photos to clients that they weren't happy with and they wanted some revisions on. Someone I could just talk to about, have you been through this as well and how did you get out of it? Sometimes having a mentor, having a coach is not always what you need, and sometimes friends and other people in the industry are much better suited for you. True story, something that I've been struggling with recently is hosting and pricing in-person photography workshops. It's a very niche thing. Not everyone is struggling with that. Very few people actually run in-person photography workshops. And so recently I reached out to my good friend Josh Huggett, also hosting photography workshops here in Australia. And we basically just talk back and forth about what he's doing, what I'm doing, how we're pricing things, how we're working different inclusions, what we're including, what we're not, when we're actually having it, how we're promoting it, a bunch of different things. And that back and forth for me, between me and Josh, basically just over sending voice messages on Instagram, is so much more helpful than any mentor could ever be. He's going to be able to share his experiences, I'll share mine, and we'll find somewhere in between. And we can definitely talk to other people as well. And we've got other people from overseas that we can talk to. But we're going to be able to find something that's going to work in 2025 versus finding a online educator or online coach who may be in the United States, in the UK, somewhere else in the world, who hosted workshops maybe 10, 15 years ago. They're not going to be able to tell you what to actually do today. And so that just for me has been something that I've been continually working on, is how can I provide value to other people, but how can we all help each other for the collective good in order to be able to move ourselves forward. And had I not had those friendships, had I not had people to draw upon from their experiences, I know that I wouldn't be where I am today. Also, shout out to Josh for being a beautiful human. He'd hate me saying this about him, but I'm going to continue to say nice things about him until he gets uncomfortable. For you, it could be something much more basic, like how many photos do you send to clients? How do you send the photos to your clients? How do you respond to particular emails after you get an inquiry? Other people have been through these things as well, and so ask them what's currently working for them today. How are their clients responding today in 2025, not what was working back in 2012. Try to ask them what's actually working for them right now, and if you can help someone else with something, they'll probably help you back with something else. And now you're probably saying, yeah, that's great, Mike, but how do I find these friends that are going to keep me accountable? How do I find people like you who are going to send me messages all the time and keep me up to date with what I'm working on and keep me accountable and make me inspired to keep going? To that, I'd say you need to put yourself out there more. You know, if you're not currently doing anything, why would someone else want to be friends with you, and why would they want to start a group with you to keep you accountable if you're not currently doing anything? And what do you have to offer to them? Be that person for other people. If you want that in return, you've got to be that person for someone else. Reach out to them, keep them accountable for what they're working on. Start with people your own size and grow together. Find someone who is at the same stage that you're at. If you're currently trying to get your photography business off the ground, find someone else. They don't have to be in your area, because people in your area often feel like your competition. And it's just the sad part of the reality of the world of being a photographer, that other people in your area are always going to see you as competition. But find someone from somewhere else in the world. There's the greatest part of having the internet, is that we can connect with so many people from around the world and find those people that are also just starting. But how do you find them? They've got to be online in the first place. So start putting yourself out there and you'll make these connections as you go along. Also, don't underestimate the importance of in-person events. I know things can be expensive. I know it's hard to go along and put yourself out there, but the connections that you'll make at in-person events are things that will help you for the rest of your creative journey. Having other people in your circle, in your corner, who are obviously interested in the same thing that you're interested in because they're at that event, just helps you to kickstart your career so much more. And having connections, you know, I've always said it's more about who you know than what you know. Anyone can be a good photographer, anyone can be a good creator, but if you haven't got the connections to put you in the spaces that you need to be in order to grow, it's going to make it so much harder. Just last week, I hosted a photography camp for up-and-coming wedding photographers, people that are looking to get in the space or are already in the space a little bit and looking to, you know, expand portfolio, but expand their network as well. And it was just one of the most rewarding experiences that I've ever had, for me personally even, but also for the students involved. All the feedback was that the one thing they got out of it was community, and that was the biggest thing that they got out of it. You can learn all the skills you want online about how to be a photographer, but actually building friends and building community and other people that are going to keep you accountable as you continue to grow in your business is just so hard to come by these days. And sometimes going along to these events is one of the ways that, you know, you can find other people that are interested in the same things that you are. Even for me as an educator, someone who's been doing this a long time and someone who has a pretty established brand online, I got so much from it, just seeing new people starting and the inspiration that I get from seeing them just happily go out there and create things without that fear of it's going to be wrong, it's going to be bad, and just throwing things at the wall again is so inspiring for me to be around. But also the other educators as well. Josh, Tash, G, everyone that came along, they're all close friends of mine, and that little circle that we have of people that we can reach out to and get inspiration from and ask, hey, how did you do this one thing that time? I'm struggling with that right now, is so helpful. And don't underestimate the power of having strong, close friendships in that industry. I'm just out here on a bit of a hike today, and I wanted to make this video just to get these thoughts out there in the world. You don't have to listen to what I have to say. Majority of you probably won't, but I wanted to give this piece of advice because it is something that has really helped me over the past few years. Finding friends, building connections, and other people that I can rely on, people that I can bounce ideas off when things get hard, but also people that I can celebrate the wins with. It's so important to find other connections. I've been feeling really creatively inspired recently. I've been away for the past 2 weeks, had the camp last week, but then had Frame Fest in Sydney the weekend before, which was like a camera, photography, videography expo, I guess you would call it, where a bunch of different creatives came together, and it was just such a really cool space to be involved in. So I'm feeling really inspired at the moment, and I thought I'd just come out here and just talk to camera. I don't do this much, I don't go off script much, I script all of my content, but recently I've been thinking maybe I need to start bringing a bit more of my personality to camera and start talking about a few of the things that I believe in, a few of the things that have helped me along my journey, a few more of the more like mindset shifts, things that, you know, I believe in and have really grounded me. Not so much the technical skills, the more soft skills about how to work with people and how to create a better business and a better life for yourself. So I wanted to get out of here and come on a hike, because I'm thinking that a new segment on YouTube, a new vlog segment, could be called Hike with Mike. I think that's going to be fun. I love hiking, and I wanted to infuse a little bit more of myself into the channel. A lot of my videos are just very well scripted at home, which are great for explainer videos, really good for that type of stuff because I want to get to the point pretty quickly. But I also have a lot of other ideas that don't sort of fit into that category so easily. And so I thought, why not just come out here and talk to camera and talk to you guys about some things that have been on my mind. So Hike with Mike, stay tuned for more episodes of this to come. If you can take one thing from this video, well, two things from this video. Firstly, start posting stuff, start sharing stuff, start actually doing things. No one can help you to start, but people can help you to keep going. People can keep you accountable, but they can't get you off the lounge to start actually creating stuff. So that's number one. And two, if you're already doing something, reach out to someone else. Try to help them out. When you find something out, help someone else out with something else. When you overcome something yourself, try to give that piece of advice to someone else. Help them out. Help someone who's at the same stage in their journey as you are, and just give before you ever expect from anyone else. And that'll help you to grow that community, that network of other people who you can draw upon when things do get a bit hard for you. You can then reach out and say, hey, you know how I helped you with that one thing? I'd really love some help on this because I'm really struggling with it at the moment. And hopefully they've been through it already and you don't have to do the same thing twice. Just make sure you put yourself out there. And please, I know most of you will not take my advice on this video, but for the 1% that do, I know it will be so beneficial to you, and I hope to hear from you in a year's time when you're miles ahead of everyone else who didn't take this advice. And yes, I know it's scary, but what you quickly realize is that everybody is human. No matter how many followers they have on Instagram, no matter how many years they've been doing this, everybody is still human. I'm only just coming to terms with speaking to some of the people who I get the privilege of speaking to online. So I know that it's scary, but put yourself out there. You'll get so much more from it than you ever thought was possible.